Hi, this is the help video for Access Chapter 7, Problem Solve A. We're picking up on step 14. So really 14, 15, 16 all go together. And this has to do with further looking at using queries to as the base to use their outcomes as the input for another query. And so what we're going to do here is calculate the percentage of sales revenue. So in what we're going to do is we're going to create two underlying queries, then use that to determine the percentage of the gross revenue. So this is on like 403 in your textbook. So it begins by generating a single line that's the total revenue. Then we're going to build a query that calculates revenue by category, right? So this will be a total, one number, grand total revenue. Then we're going to break it down by category. So we're going to look at by category what is the totals. And we can use the result records from those two queries to make a third query, which is going to give us a percentage by, actually we're going to go all the way up here to 18. We're going to do this. So the ultimate goal that we want is this percent of gross revenue. And so it's going to use the two query results as its input, like as its source, right? So we're going to start off by building a query that's going to give us one number, which is the total revenue. So that's step 14. Let's do that and break it down. You're going to have to do this several times in your work. So let's go ahead and do create query and query design. We want total purchase and total product, or table product, sorry. And then we're going to open this up. And in the first blank column, create a calculated field named total revenue. So I'm going to come in here and zoom. So first I'm putting the name, total revenue, all together. Oops. Sorry, hold on a sec. So total revenue, colon. And then it's just quantity. I can spell it right. Times price, right? We've done that several times, right? How many do we sell at this price? So if I do that, I'm going to get each record, right? 18 records. But I don't want that. I want the grand total of everything, right? So I have to put this total row in, right? We're going to make it a sum. It's going to give me one value that is the sum of the calculation that I just put in there. And there it is. Okay? So that's all I need from this one, right? So we're going to do query QRY total revenue. And the only thing is I just want to make sure I can see everything. So let's just do that so we can see the name. We'll save it and we're going to close it. So we have one piece of what we need done, and that's the total for everything, right? So we're done with that. Now we need to build a query that's going to give me a total by category. So this query will calculate the revenue for each of the product categories. So we're going to use the same tables, right? So purchase and product, and then we're going to put category. And then we're going to create a new calculated field named category rev that does our multiplication. So it's the same stuff we're doing. We just added another field in there that we're going to do a group by. So let's create a query in Design View. We're going to pull those same two tables, purchase and product. And then in the last one, all we did was that single calculated field, right? Well, in this one, we're going to add a group by category, because that's what I want is I want to look at the end is the percentage of the gross for each category. So let's find category. Here it is, right? So if I run it, I just have all those 18 records of what category they're in. I know I'm going to group it at some point. So I'm going to go to the next new field and I'm going to zoom. And what's this new one going to be called? It's going to be called category rev. And it's going to be that same calculation. Price times quantity. Right? Actually, I am going to change this and make it doesn't matter. I looked at the answer grid and it had it this way. Quantity times price. Which is how we did it in the last one. How many did we sell at this price? Okay. So right now, it's nothing. It's every record and then the revenue, right? So what we wanted to, so we're done here with 15. So we're going to add the total row because we want to get that aggregate because that's what we care about. So I'm going to put the total row in, and I am grouping by category, but I want to sum this category revenue. So I'm going to run it. And now for each category, I get the how much was sold, right? The price for the total by each category. So we're going to save this one. So now we have the two underlying pieces to calculate the percentage, right? Because we're just going to look at, here's the total sales, the gross, right? And here's the gross by category. So you can figure out a percentage from that. 10% was waxing or whatever they are. So if we look at 17, it says create a query that will calculate the percentage of total revenue generated by each product in the category. Use the query total revenue and the query category revenue as our underlying points. Add category and rev into it. Okay, let's do that. So create query design. We got to switch over here to queries because we're using queries as an underlying. Total rev and category rev, right? So it's got those three pieces of information. So we're going to add category and category rev. If I run it, yeah, same thing that we had before, right? But we're going to do some more work with that. So we're done with 17. So now that I have this, we want to start to create a percent of gross, which is, so we're going to do this new calculated field, percent of gross rev, that divides category rev by total rev. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to say format the field as percentage. All right, so let's do that. Let's zoom. And then what we're going to do is the name of the field, which is called PCT of gross revenue rev colon. That divides category rev by, right? So category rev, which is right here, divided by this total rev, which is that one number, right, of all of the products, the revenue from all products. So this is the total by category of sales, and this is the for everything. So this doesn't quite work. I need to make this up. Format as percent, and let's run it. Right? So 22% is of revenue, of all the revenue is for bath, right? So it looks like body stuff is the most, foot is the least, right? So you can look at that from there. So let's save that so we don't lose that. QRY, percent of gross revenue. Okay. And it doesn't have me do any kind of sorting. But so let's go ahead. I am done with 18. So I'm going to run it. I saved it. I'm going to run it. Okay. Run the query to view the results and adjust the widths. Okay, we got that. Let's look at 19. In datasheet view, add the total, right? So we haven't done that in a while. We're going to add the total row here. Remember, this is out in datasheet. And select a sum for here. So that number should equal what is in our total rev, right? Because that's the that's what was used to derive that number, was all of these totals. Okay. Save it and close it. So we are done with 19, and I'm going to stop the movie because we're going to do this process again, and I'll start that at the next movie, step 20. Thank you.